All right, everyone. Welcome to another week of Friday Night Modern here at GameSwap in Mason, brought to you by Top Deck Production. I am Mario, back again for another week with Mark here.
Hey, everybody.
And for round one, we have Victor Kurz on Jund Shadow now versus Kyle Lloyd on Artifacts, which appears to be Tron, I suppose.
or it could just be, yeah, I mean, you never know.
Just artifacts he likes to play with.
Right, right.
So Victor has transitioned from Grixis Shadow to Jund Shadow now to take advantage of Bloodbraid Elf. This is the first week of FNM where the new unbannings have taken effect. So there's been some events here throughout the week, but this is the first Friday night.
Yeah, pretty exciting. I played last night, and I didn't really see many copies of Jace at all. Saw some Bloodbraid Elf. I think part of the Jace thing on paper is
price.
Yeah, people just can't find them, can't afford them. I happen to own a foil Worldwake Jace. If anyone would like to buy that from me,
for
I will sell it.
$1,000.
I will sell it to you for $630.
Oh, all right. Wow.
So PM me or something.
So this definitely just seems like Tron. Victor does have the turn 2 Tormagoyf, but
it's pretty good.
We'll see if Kyle's going to play. Kyle, thankfully for Victor, I guess, did not have turn 3 Tron. Led with the Sanctum of Ugin, it looks like.
Yeah, so the early Sanctum of Ugin's not where Kyle wants to be. It's not the greatest. Whenever my Tron opponent plays a land
that
on
isn't
turn
a Tron
one,
land?
yeah. If they go turn 1 Llanowar Waste, I'm like, oh, you're screwed.
But Kyle is set up nicely here for turn 3 Tron with the Expedition map, able to find the third piece. Looks like Victor drew a Manamorphose. So Victor has put these Manamorphoses into his deck so that if he hits them off Bloodbraid, he gets to draw a card and then recycle 2 mana to use to cast something out of his hand.
Right.
So pretty unique.
Yeah, it's like the best. I think it's like the best possible hit off Bloodbraid Elf, really.
Sure.
I mean, it lets you cast freely what you want to cast out of your hand. So it's a lot. It like really it fights against the random number generation of Bloodbraid Elf.
Yeah.
Makes your plays more predictable. I was playing last night where I had some lines where I could have cast a Bloodbraid Elf and hoped to get lucky and win, or if I just hit something bad, like another creature, I would tap out and lose. Like I was playing against Affinity, and like Bloodbraid into Tarmogoyf, I lose the game. Bloodbraid into Lightning Helix, I win the game, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
It looks like Victor's thinking about just casting this Manamorphose here. Yeah, that's what he decides to do.
Yeah, that's fine. Why not?
He could have played a Swamp and then played Liliana the Veil, but decided against doing that.
Well, I assume he's still gonna do that. He maybe
right.
I think he just wanted
2 mana.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to have full information.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I assume he made black mana, so he's gonna play the Lily. Yeah. So Lily is okay here. It does help you shred the hand, which could become relevant, but
yeah, it depends on how many threats Kyle has. I mean,
or what kind of threats.
Right. Kyle does have enough cards in hand now that he can probably just discard some extra artifacts that he doesn't need at this point.
Yeah, if Kyle for some reason has like main board Thought Knots or something, this Lily's pretty good, but it's terrible against Wormcoil.
Right, and the
terrible against
Planeswalkers.
Planeswalkers. So
I think Kyle might have an Oblivion Stone in hand, so we could also see that come down here and destroy both Tarmogoyf and Liliana. So Kyle finds his tower, is going to untap here with at least 8 mana, maybe more. And sometimes this is a little scarier for Tron.
How could he have more than 8?
If he play, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's just gonna.
Maybe if he goes like plays a chromatic star into Explore.
Yeah, right. Of course, he still has to play the tower for this turn, so he will have exactly 8 mana, which does enable Ugin, Karn, or Wormcoil.
So
6 here.
6.
This is a Wormcoil.
Yeah, Wormcoil pretty good here. I don't think Victor has Path.
No, but
Victor is splashing white, but I don't think he has Path in the main. I don't think he has any paths.
He does have a Fatal Push, though, so he could down-tick Lily to make him sacrifice the worm.
Yeah, take out.
And then try and 1-for-1 remove the other tokens.
Yeah. It's pretty grim, though.
Yeah, it's not great.
If Kyle were somehow out of threats, what did he draw?
Well, Victor also has a Kolaghan's Command in hand. He drew a Death Shadow for the turn, but
Kolaghan's Command is pretty good. You got a lot of lines here with that, but I think the best one is to sack and then Fatal Push. You sack, Fatal Push, K Command to make you discard. Is that what we want to do? That's really not bad.
No.
I mean, he's going to get in. He can get in with his Goyf this turn like that and take a card out of Kyle's hand.
Definitely.
My guess is, though, Kyle's got a bunch of fluff to discard.
Right. I think Victor's thinking about leading off with the Inquisition here. Yeah.
Does he have another land?
Not sure. So Inquisition sees Chromatic Star and Emrakul the Promised End.
So that Emrakul is actually not very close to coming down.
because the Relic just exiled graveyards. So
yeah, but we did just put Artifact in the yard, so that's not great.
Right, so currently costs 12 mana. And next turn, Kyle might have 9 if he plays this other Tron piece. So Victor has at least another turn before that comes down.
So Victor could actually just make his opponent discard here with Lily. Okay, well, I was thinking one line Victor had, I'm not sure which is better, but Victor could make his opponent discard and start cutting these lands out, hope his opponent can never cast that Emrakul.
Sure.
Kyle's got no filtering. If you make him discard, if he goes to swing with Wormcoil, you just K-command it there. Doesn't gain any life off it.
Yeah.
I kind of like I can see a reason for both lines.
Instead, it looks like Victor's might go for the 3 removal options. He's gonna make him. Oh, he had a. Okay, he did not. I see. Victor discarded the Fatal Push I mentioned earlier to Liliana the first turn, so he had to use Dismember there instead.
Oh,
but
I see.
Still
yeah,
the same result. In fact, it's actually probably better for.
Yeah, I'd like to tank his life total.
Yeah.
So, did we leave the lifelinker in play?
Yes. Obviously makes sense, so it cannot kill Tormorgoyf.
Yep.
So Victor is thinking about this fetch here, depending on how low he wants his life total to go. The funny thing is that in Death Shadow, if you ever do get your turn taken by Emrakul the Promised End, it's likely they can just kill you by like shocking or Kolaghan's commanding yourself or something.
Sure. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
an interesting.
I'm actually thinking
dichotomy.
more. I'm thinking more about the line that I suggested earlier, the possible alternative line, and I just realized that making Kyle discard a land actually just makes Emrakul cost 1 less. Well, it's the same, really.
Well, sure.
But so, yeah, I definitely Victor's line, solid line there. The first line we talked about, I think.
So he does decide to shock here, putting himself down to 7, which make this Death Shadow now a 6/6. So pretty big. Does not get blocked by the 3/3 lifelink Worm token. See if Kyle draws anything relevant. Just another land.
Just a land. So I think Victor might actually lock this one up. Kyle just did not have the.
Yeah, with Kolaghan's command, Victor has lethal next turn.
Kyle really needed an Ancient Stirrings or something to dig his way out of these.
Try to find it.
Yeah, that's the problem with these decks.
A cheaper threat.
Don't have the
a cheaper threat than 13 mana.
Right.
Maybe like a 10 mana one.
I mean, the Sanctum of Ugin, I guess you can call that filtering. Like Sanctum of Ugin is big here, but Kyle just needed to.
Yeah, he was never able to cast something to activate.
He's never able to proc it. Because what does it only proc off? What?
All the Planeswalkers in Ulamog, and I guess
right. So it doesn't proc off Wormcoil because it has to be 7 mana.
No, yeah, right, 7 mana. It does not proc off Wormcoil. So actually, this attack here, I kind of like.
I think if Victor just takes it, what does it matter?
No, it's attacking Liliana.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess Victor could just take it. Then the Death Shadow is the same size.
Yeah.
But the gaining of 3 life, I think, might buy Kyle an extra turn here. Although it does put Goyf up to a 6/7.
Yeah, if Victor has a fetch land, he still gets there, right? It goes to 4.
Right. He's your Bloodblade Elf. Well,
that's pretty good.
probably that does it just on damage alone.
This is the matchup where Bloodbraid Elf really helps Jund out. It's obviously good in the blue matchups where you give him 2 spells to counter. It's obviously good in value matchups because it's pretty good value.
It doesn't even need to see
Tron,
the Cascade there as
Tron is
enough damage.
Is definitely where you want to see the Bloodbraid, especially on I guess that wasn't on curve, but
so confirmed. Game 1. First match with Bloodbraid Elf unbanned for our commentary. Already broke the format. Beat Tron.
Oh, beat Tron. Jund Shadow has a fine matchup against Tron anyway, but
sure.
No, I wouldn't say fine. I think it's winnable. I assume Victor has Temur Battle Rage to bring in, but I'm not sure about that. He's definitely not gonna. I think Victor might have Godless Shrine on the sideboard, but you definitely don't do that.
Splash for an extra.
Yeah, unless you have Stony Silence, which I don't think he does. I think he just has Lingering Souls. So we'll see what happens here. Kyle, what does Kyle want?
The type of removal that Tron packs is actually doesn't line up very well against that Shadow. I feel like Dismembers or Spatial Contortions, they just don't. They're not very effective.
The O-Stone's real effective
great,
still, and I think Thragtusk is good here.
Yeah, definitely.
If you got 1 or 2 of those, maybe even 3. I've seen people with 3. Relic is great.
Well, we saw the Relic's main there.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else Kyle would actually want here.
Yeah, like his brutalities aren't very good. He doesn't really want discard.
I think brutality's playable, but you're not really worried about Victor's spells very much. So
I guess all his dust is pretty good. Takes out Planeswalkers.
Yeah, I wonder if he's playing. He might have. I mean, usually these non-Eldrazi Tron decks, I think in just traditional Tron, you really just want to bank on your O-Stones. Probably got 4 of those.
Sure.
3 at the minimum. Kyle could go for the bring in 3 or 4 Thought Not Seers thing. That's pretty popular in Tron right now.
That, yeah.
I'm not sure that you get Victor with. I mean, it's not great against Fatal Push, but it can get there. Victor's presumably taking Fatal Push out.
Yeah,
right. So I think I like the Thought Not plan here.
So one thing Victor has lost for this round, not playing blue now, obviously, is interaction in the form of counter spells. That definitely was pretty big, I feel like, for Shadow against the Tron matchup, like the Stubborn Denials and Ceremonious Rejections out of the board. But without that, Victor basically just has to lean on discard to try and not get Troned out.
I think that if Kyle has like 1 or 2 World Breakers in the sideboard, those are actually worth bringing in.
Now this is a pile shuffle.
Oh, great. Just
a lot of piles.
Yeah. I actually kind of like. God, those cards look like sticky notes.
Those are some very bright sleeves. They go well with our logo.
Yeah, they do. They go very well with the logo. Yeah, I kind of like World Breaker here just because, you know, like usually it's good against the control matchup where you get a cast trigger to fight through a counter spell, or against a deck that has flyers for the reach. But honestly, I think a 5/7 blocker here is.
Yeah, that's actually
block
true.
all the Goyfs. Can't Fatal Push it.
Can't dismember it.
Can't dismember it.
You cannot ultimate price it.
Sure, you cannot ultimate price it. It blocks the Bloodbraid Elf effectively. Can block a lot of shadows, not all shadows. But I think I actually like World Breaker here a lot. It's also World Breaker is very castable without Tron. I mean, it's only 7 mana.
Yeah.
I say only 7, but
right.
It's much more reasonable than Ulamog, for example.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if Victor has any Fulminator mages.
I'm not sure about that. I think the answer is no.
Yeah, like he could, but I don't think he plays them.
Yeah, I think in this matchup you just rely on Shadow being a fast clock with Temur Battle Rage to get there. I don't think you try to stall the lands. I just don't think well, though, then again, you do have Bloodbraid Elf, so I wonder if Bloodbraid Elf Fulminator, Bloodbraid Elf Stone Rain, like Bloodbraid Elf Molten Rain, those are like real lines. So I don't know. He might have Fulminator. I think Victor sent me his list the other day. Let's try to find it on my phone. Definitely has all 4 mana Morphos, though, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. So Kyle's hand looks like he's got a couple artifacts. Maybe, I'm not sure if he has enough lands. He might only have 1 land. Does have a Worm Coil as well. So I think Kyle has decided to keep. And Victor's thinking over his hand. Victor decides to take a mulligan. Didn't get a good look at his hand there, but he didn't like it. Maybe didn't. It might have. It probably either had too many lands or not enough lands, as most mulligans do. And that's another thing Victor loses out by not playing blue, is the card filtering in Opto or Serum Visions.
Yeah.
I
assume he's got 3 or 4 Street Wraith, but I think that's really it. I don't think he has Bobble. Well, he might have Bobble. No, I don't think he does actually.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
I hope I find it. I need to find his list.
For those watching, sorry about this weird camera focusing issue. It seems to be that maybe the camera's zoomed in a little bit too much, and it seems to be tracking Kyle's hand movement every time he goes over.
The shadows on the playmat here sort of look like. It sort of looks like when you play a video game and you turn the settings down, or you turn the shadows on, but you put the weak shadows on. You know, looks a little sketch. We'll try to work on that, folks.
Yeah. So Kyle leads off with a turn 1 star. Victor here gonna fetch for something, probably a discard spell. Has to get Overgrown Tomb, and brings his life total down to a nice 17.
A cool 17.
A cool 17, yeah. Just like he bolted himself. And yeah, here's Inquisition. Inquisition not always great against Tron, but in this instant it looks like it will be.
Yeah, I think he's taking Ancient Stirrings.
Kyle did keep a 1-lander, but he's got a lot of filtration.
A lot of redundancy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're taking Ancient Stirrings.
This is a really pretty solid 1-lander from Kyle.
Definitely.
There's like no way that I feel. There's almost nothing I could draw that would be terrible.
Yeah, no. Definitely, yeah. I mean,
you just got to hit a land with the star or with the
Stirrings.
And no matter what, you get to go green for this Ancient Stirrings next turn. So yeah, this is a pretty solid 1-lander.
Kyle's gonna sacrifice his star, cast the Ancient Stirrings. Not sure if he's drawn a land yet, so he might need to find one off this.
Yeah, okay, yeah, tower's fine. As long as we didn't whiff on Tron land there, you just want to find a different Tron land.
Right.
That's That's what that card's good for, Ancient Stirrings.
So I see he's really Emrakul of Promise then again.
Oh, great. I really can't get behind playing that card. Like, I think it's a cute finisher, but I just like everything else better. I think it's just everything else is more consistent.
Wow, Victor may have also kept a one-lander, but he has 4 discard spells in hand.
Wow.
He's got another Inquisition and another Thoughtseize. After this Thoughtseize here, bringing him down to 15.
I think you just take the Worm Coil, or do you take the Sylvan Scrying?
I think you take the Sylvan Scrying.
It depends on, does Victor have the removal in hand right now to deal with that Worm Coil?
No, but he has another Thoughtseize.
Oh, okay.
So
sure, yeah, take the Scrying. Of course, this is where Kyle just luck sacks and top decks the power plant. We know it's going to happen too.
Sure.
There's almost no way. There's no way it doesn't happen. Experience tells us.
So Victor does take the Scrying. We'll see if Kyle has the Tron luck. Does not look like it, unfortunately. Sometimes sometimes they don't have it, but they almost always have it. He did draw a land though. He's going to correct the star first. I think that might have.
That is a power plant. Yeah. Oh my God! What a scumbag, folks. This is how it always happens.
Well, unfortunately for Kyle, he will get another card taken out of his hand next turn because he doesn't have enough mana quite yet to play the Worm Coil. So we're gonna cycle another card for the Sphere. There's a Karn.
We've got 1 mana floating. Do we know what color? I assume we said green.
Yeah, I think he didn't find anything like that, so he's just going to pass the turn. And here we'll see another Thoughtseize from Victor's end, but Victor's not going to be happy what he sees. We've drawn into Karn as well.
All of these are, I think you just got to take the Karn. You have to let him have the Worm Coil.
Yeah.
God, this is poor Victor.
And Victor has not found a second land yet either, so even though his hand had a lot of interaction, he's not able to put any pressure on the board.
I think Victor made the decision to cut the Mishra's Bauble Traverse package, and that's the kind of, this is the kind of instance where like, those are cards you need.
So I think this is Emrakul. Yep.
Yeah, it is.
And that'll do it. Victor's going to scoop it up. So a risky 1-land keep from Victor's end, not able to get there with just the discard. So Kyle will take that one, making the match 1-1. So both players kept a 1-lander there, but when you have access to about 4 or 5 ways to find more cards in your deck, that usually pans out a lot better. I saw Victor had an Abrupt Decay there. What do you think? What do you think he has that for?
Yeah, in this matchup, I guess it takes out O-Stone, which is like a turn 3 O-Stone. If you don't deal with that and you don't kill him on turn 5, you probably just lose. So
sure,
I guess it's okay. He probably just doesn't have good enough stuff to bring in. Oh, folks, we just learned we got a player playing Murkfiend Liege. Yeah, that's one of my favorite cards. Yeah, it's I believe it's 5 mana, 2 green, blue, green, blue, green, blue.
Hybrid mana costs, yeah.
And I think you get to untap your creatures and land. It's sort of like a Prophet of Crufix, but not as good, I think.
Yeah, I think like when you cast a spell, you get to untap something.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a weird one.
Who playing that?
Someone's playing blue-green.
Is it Alex Katzman?
Stuff? No.
Oh, Ben Kennedy.
Yes. Playing blue-green things. There's been a lot of blue-green decks floating around recently after the JSON banning, using Courser and Oracle of Moldiah and stuff.
Yeah. Did you see? Yeah. I sent Mario a list the other day that.
Oh yeah. There was also this was a strange one.
We saw a polymorph, a blue-green polymorph deck, but he was playing that Mirrodin Rod. That artifact.
Protean Staff.
Yeah, Protean Staff.
Which kind of like a polymorph.
Yeah. Can we get Protean Staff on the screen from Mirrodin? It's basically a polymorph on a stick.
This was a list that 5-0'd a Magic Online League.
It 5-0'd in Bloodbraid Elf.
Yeah, during after Jace was on it was just a random blue-green deck. It was pretty interesting.
So you play no creatures so that you can hit Emrakuls with all your polymorphs.
Call of the Herd to make an elephant token.
Yes, Call of the Herd. Call of the Herd had like 5 Garus.
Yeah, that's an interesting
crazy list.
So Victor's hand looks pretty similar here, except instead of having only 1 land, he has 4 lands.
I'm not sure if he can keep this lot. Is it Inquisition Goyf Thoughtseize?
Yeah.
Though? I think you keep that. I think you keep that.
Yeah, it looks like Victor.
That's a fine lead.
Kyle also kept his 7. So here we get the lead on Inquisition.
All right, take the stirrings. No, do you take the map or the stirrings?
Yeah, I'm not sure. He doesn't have a way to make colored mana currently.
Yeah, I guess you take the map.
But of course, if he draws any of his artifacts.
Yeah, taking the map there means that he can't even get a forest.
Right.
So I like that play. We're getting some new update on the deck list. What was that, Jake?
Alongside the Murkfiend Liege, whatever it was, is a Fable of Wolf
Oh, I love that card, Fable of Wolfenau.
Oh my God, that card is so cool. Holy crap. Oh.
If he's winning, yeah, we might feature some Fable of Wolfenau here later. So here's the Proteus staff we mentioned earlier. And here's a Tarmogoyf from Victor. So the difference in Victor's hand here is that even though it was very similar to his game 2 hand, he can, of course, now pressure the board while also interacting with Kyle's hand. And Kyle did top deck a star, so he's able to get green mana there and cast his Stirrings. See if he finds a 3rd piece off this, which he's probably, I think he's favored to do. No, he found a 2nd mine there.
Well, that's Ancient Stirrings doesn't always get you there. Dig
That's
5
true.
not good enough. Have you ever played a what's that card? Worldly Council, the domain.
Yeah, the
domain
search land.
Anticipate.
I've seen that being played in Pauper, I think, but so he does settle on the 2nd mine. Apparently, didn't have anything better than that in the pile. I guess this ensures that he hits a land drop this turn, which I'm not sure he would have done. Or I mean, his next turn. So Victor has drawn a Manamorphose. And it looks like another land. He can Manamorphose here. That'll increase the size of Tarmogoyf. Also give him an extra draw.
So this discard is actually working out fairly well for Victor.
Yeah, definitely.
It's discard's not always good against Tron.
Right,
but,
especially the Inquisitions.
Yeah, he's leveraged it very well here.
When you're on the play, the Inquisitions are obviously quite a bit better. If you can take, if they're only on 1 artifact or 1 Ancient Stirrings or whatnot, you can make sure you grab that. So Victor does go with the Manamorphose here. I'm guessing he's floating black-green, but I'm not sure. Hard to know. And he found another Inquisition. So he can cast both of those, the Inquisition and the Thoughtseize, if he wants to this turn. Probably his best option. So here's the Inquisition first. Using one of his floating mana from Manamorphose. And the only target for that now is the Oblivion Stone.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle would be able to cast that next turn.
Yeah.
Without Tron.
But of course, we know for a fact that Kyle's going to top deck a power plant here.
He's got it.
It just always happens.
Yeah, you put it right on top.
It just always happens.
Give your opponent less information.
Yeah. So I'm actually I have what I believe is Victor's list he showed up with tonight. He sent me the other day. He does have 2 Fulminators in the sideboard.
Okay.
He's also got a Display of Dominance, which is pretty sweet.
That's a new one for Jace.
Yeah, I actually played that card a couple of years ago in Splinter Twin era.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was okay, but yeah, it's a good time for it, I think. So he's got a Seal of Primordium in the sideboard too. I wonder if that came in here.
Yeah, I think I may have actually seen it when he was shuffling through his deck.
It seems okay. It doesn't seem great, but might as well bring it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm seeing no Traverse and no Bobble. So
here's the Thoughtseize. I wonder what threat you take here. The cards are redundant, so maybe you just take Wormcoil? I don't know. You could just hope he doesn't draw Tron and take the Thragtusk.
Yeah, I think Thragtusk might be an okay bet, but he doesn't have a colored source, so
right.
I don't know. I think Wormcoil is probably best. Yeah, taking redundant, like Karn is probably the best take, but you just don't want to. It just doesn't make any sense when he has 2 of them.
So Goyf is now a 5/6.
It's a big deal.
It is currently a 4-turn clock. Yeah.
Yeah, Victor needs to stick another threat.
If Kyle
though.
can't find something meaningful, he might just die with all these large threats in his hand. I did find that.
So
sphere.
cracking for a green, I assume.
Found the 3rd mine. Oh my.
Oh baby.
Definitely not what he's looking for.
So if that would have been a Tron land, he could have just played the Thrag.
Yeah.
I think.
Ooh, and Victor top decks Bloodbraid Elf as it is well known to be. It's usually the best card you can play at any turn.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Definitely the best card you can play right at this point in the game. Victor needed something there too, as he only had 2 lands in hand.
Unless we hit like an Inquisition, then it's kind of just average. But three mana haste is, or 3 power haste is still good.
Yeah, I mean it cuts the clock in half.
Yeah.
So here's Bloodbraid Elf. We'll see what she brings. A Thoughtseize. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, Thoughtseize is fine. I say take the Thragtusk. Well,
yeah.
Actually,
the thing is, right? You win the game next turn.
Yeah.
And the only way he doesn't.
Well, he can't. There's no way he can cast Thragtusk actually, unless he top decks exactly star into top deck star, cracks it, gets a land.
Gets the other Tron piece.
Right.
Yeah, he needs exactly the other Tron piece. So Kyle falls to 7 here with the big attack from 8. Oh, yeah, and in fact, with the Planeswalker in the yard, that actually made Tarmogoyf a 6/7, so he actually fell to 6.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And there's Ugin. Can't cast that with the 3rd mine. So that'll do it.
That we saw that that hand disruption really worked out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, how many did Victor cast in those last 2 games?
Well, in game 2 he cast 4, and in that game I think he also cast 4.
Looks like at least in the list he sent me, he's only playing 6. So
yeah, well, he had 4 both games, and that definitely
they really worked out well.
Yeah,
they certainly do not always work out well in this matchup, but that.
Right, because usually what happens in this matchup, I suppose, is that you can take a bunch of stuff, but once they have Tron online, if you can't stop that, all of their top decks are just amazing. So it doesn't matter how much you've interacted with their hand. But when they can't get to Tron, it definitely helps a lot.
Yeah, that was good job by Victor. I'm excited to see what you can do with
so
this Bloodbraid
Shadow
list.
An interesting take on the Jund notion of Bloodbraid. Everybody obviously is just going to slam Bloodbraid into Jund, but Victor is really loves his Death Shadows, and he's sticking with them. And it seemed good tonight. I'm not sure. It'll be hard to. It'll take a while, I suppose, to figure out whether or not this is better than the Grixis version, losing out on card filtration and counter spells.
Yeah, so I noticed Victor's list. Without that filtration, he's only got 12, or he's got 16 creatures. 4 of them are Street Race. He's got 4 Bloodbraid, 4 Shadow, 4 Goyf. That's it.
Sure.
Then he has Lingering Souls out of the side.
Right, he doesn't have the Delve creatures
that's
anymore.
extremely threat light.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what do you think of this? So Victor was thinking about playing 1 more land since he doesn't have any filtration. He's at 20 right now. And he asked for a suggestion.
Yeah, I think if you want to play Bloodbraid Elf,
you want 21, yeah. He asked for a suggestion, and I said, what do you think of Horizon Canopy, which he laughed at. But I was like, so for what? So bear with me here. So it's a backup white source for you.
She is splashing white.
Yeah, because if you get your Godless Shrine Ghost Quartered, you can't, you can no longer cast Lingering Souls except with Bloodbraid Elf and Manamorphose. So backup white source, draws a card, not bad. And tanks your life for Death Shadow.
Yeah, but the problem is it doesn't tap for black, so I feel like that's
not tapping for black's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he's got a Stomping Ground in here. I mean,
sure.
I don't know. I think it's interesting to try. My other suggestion was Dakmor Salvage, and that's clearly bad.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So at the end of round 1, I would like to make an announcement. So if you are a fan of Top Deck Productions, if you watch us and you are in the local Cincinnati area, on Thursdays now in the month of March, we are going to have a special league being run of Modern. It'll be basically just a regular Modern tournament every Thursday. But
it's like part of the Thursday night Modern.
Yeah, part of the Thursday night Modern. So GameSwap has Thursday night Modern here anyway, but this league is now taking hold of that, I suppose. And if you are a patron of our channel of Top Deck Productions, you can participate in this league. And what the league entitles is you play every week in March, or as many weeks as you can come out to. And then at the end, the player with the most match points from winning or whatever, the top 3 players actually get a prize. Those prizes include a number of Masters 25 packs. I believe for first it's 12, which is about half a box, which is pretty great. Yeah. Alternatively, if you come in first, you can get a playset of Ether Vials.
Yep.
And then for second, we have also a lesser number of Modern, what is it called? Masters 25 packs, or a box of a recent standard set. And then same for third, it's fewer packs or a fat pack of a recent standard set. So some pretty good rewards. To become a Patreon, even if you want to do it just for this month, it's $5. That should be linked in the description of the channel underneath the viewing area. Also, it scrolls on the bottom if you want to check us out there. But yeah, if you're in the area and you want to support us and you want to participate in this pretty good prize payout league, please consider that. So that will do it for round 1 here. We saw some nice Bloodbraid action. Sure to see plenty more of that as the weeks go on, as well as some Jace. So we will be back in about 20 minutes for round 2. We'll try to get the camera focus fixed as well. So
let me just say one more thing real quick. Mario, did you know that Bloodbraid Elf action, as an acronym, is an anagram for Babe?
No.
All right. Well, folks, that's all I got.
Glad we stayed around for that.
Yep,
so
yep.
we'll be back shortly, folks. Stay tuned.